What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarouche.
And this is the penultimate video of us watching Full Metal Alchemist.
Not episode, but Brotherhood.
Yes, but not the penultimate episode, but it's our penultimate video. I am stoked. We are going to sit here and finish the show today. You're going to get it, on the schedule, but...
You get it when you get it.
That's just to give our editor time to not pull all of his hair out.
And it's Christmas, be nice to our editor, please.
I have no idea what's about to happen. Father just ate the world? I don't know. I'm really hoping there's some answers. But I would also kind of love it if there weren't at this point. Yeah, the world's dead.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
400 years later. Eren Yeager is in the walls.
Oh, jeez. This was actually
this was all a prequel. That is the first Titan.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Can you imagine? If you want the full length, actually go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't stay here because you're already here, and it's the penultimate video, so watch it.
Yeah.
The sun and the moon overlap. Then the two genders become one.
In other words...
Oh, it's a non-binary world.
All right, and be friends are perfect beings.
True. Wild. No theme song? Interesting choice.
They got some shit to get through.
Yeah, they're like, we don't got time. No music, just silent sadness.
How many lives were sacrificed for this?
Amestris is a large country, at least 50 million people.
We do have a circle. It's one of enormous power, and it can be self-activated.
Yeah.
Take a ton, take a ton. What?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Did you really think they'd keep everybody dead?
No, but this is exactly what this is the kind of storytelling that I don't like, personally.
Yeah.
No, don't you worry. We knew that you were gonna succeed, and so we already stopped you from succeeding, and so you've already failed, so none of this mattered. He's just kind of like, okay, cool. It wasn't even our characters that did it. It was like the Hoenheim. Don't worry, he's already saved the world. Yeah, it's not for me.
What in the hell just happened?
I don't know how to describe it. It was
You guys were unconscious for 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, if it was longer than 10 minutes, their brains would be dead, so they had to act pretty quick.
There are more! 1 billion humans I can draw energy from!
That's what I imagine a Dragon Ball looks like.
That is very much a Dragon Ball Z move. Let's go, Alchemistry!
The greater the power the other side has, the greater the power that I can use becomes!
That's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Dad!
It's the Tush Push. They're the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm just a decrepit old man, but I'll give it everything these old bones can do!
It's a good thing Roy Mustang has a Philosopher's Stone in his pocket.
You would leave him? So easily?
Nice move.
Is your god so readily lost to your people?
Their fight is awesome.
Yeah.
This is great.
Heading to your fallen civil war!
Fuck, that was fucking crazy well animated.
Right?
You were surrounded by nothing but despair!
Come on, Scar, you gotta finish this fucker off. What a move! Oh, Scar, I'm sorry. That was pretty incredible.
Right.
That rocked.
At least a life worth living for, and maybe even a life worth dying for.
That was a great monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that was the one that... Oh, maybe Mustang doesn't have one.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Oh, so this is a different thing that they had already prepared. They had 2 backup plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
The Ishvalans had their own thing going.
I'm kind of disappointed that worked. Because of the Kimberly shot of him killing the Ishvalans, I figured that would have messed up part of that plan.
Oh, I see.
But I guess those Ishvalans were just random people in a room.
Yeah, it was a weird shot.
These characters, interestingly, their plans don't interface at all with one another. Like the actions of the characters on the show, they never interface with the other side's plans to slow them down or stop them. They're just kind of in similar spaces while people are doing things.
I mean, they were working together.
No, not the good guys. I mean the good guys versus the bad guys.
Like a mass of people crawling beneath the earth.
That's right. The sensation you felt was the enormous Philosopher's Stone.
Oh. Interesting.
This circle would render the Philosopher's Stone of Emeticus ineffective, thus enabling the Alchemist here to once again harness tectonic energy.
I love the, 2 layers of circles.
Yeah.
It's such a fun idea.
Get out of the way, Creed!
Ooh, what is Pride? Pride's just watching.
Pride's having a rough time.
That was sick. Oh, shit.
Just worry about yourself for once. Your eyes.
Lieutenant, can you still fight?
Mustang's gonna get a new eye. A hawk eye. Got him!
I see. So they finally got him.
What an image.
Yeah.
So that peaceful look on his face pisses me off.
Do you need to ask such a ridiculous question?
The way his shadows are ripping apart is really cool.
It's so cool.
You're the one who's ridiculous.
Hey,
Bicep.
you're working out.
Ooh!
I am one of the homunculi! What do you know, human?
What an incredible design.
I know.
I can use your container. Your body belongs to me.
Uh-oh.
If you think that, then you still don't understand Edward Elric.
Fair.
Impossible! He's turned himself into a Philosopher's Stone and now he's forcing his way inside me?
What the fuck is happening?
Once this is all over, I'm gonna have to apologize to Mrs. Bradley.
Hey, so your child was an evil demon? Your husband was also an evil demon. Everybody in your life was awful.
Yeah.
All right! Wow, that was wild.
Yeah. I do like the setup for Kimberly is like part of like Greed and Ling's relationship.
I just don't. I thought that you had to I thought the only souls in the Philosopher's Stones were the ones that were there when they were made. So
Well,
this
not
sudden
really.
addition subtraction to the Philosopher's Stone concept is
That's why Pride devoured Gluttony. You just took on his Philosopher's Stone. Like you can just keep adding to it. Like
Kimberly just yeah.
it's,
Sure.
it's a weird concept.
I feel like I just watched 22 minutes of exposition trying to convince me that this works.
Fair.
Like, that's what that episode feels like to me, is characters, telling me how the finale works. And I think that if you buy it at face value, I think that it probably works for you. Mm-hmm. And for me, I really wish this had gone down differently.
Fair.
Personally, and that's just how I feel. I'm not the biggest fan of, we went to the big bad final chamber knowing that his plan was going to fail, because it literally can't succeed. So we don't really have to worry about too much. Mm-hmm. But it also, like, it brings into question so many, like, choices that they made to get there.
Like what?
Like, they fought so hard to stop him from doing the ritual, when, like, their whole plan revolved around him doing the ritual and it failing.
Well, I mean, if you can stop him before people experience the trauma of their soul leaving their body, that's
But they knew they couldn't. So they just got a bunch of people killed on the way there. To something that they could have just got to... I don't know. I think that, like, it's something that I would need to watch a few more times to really wrap my head around. Mm-hmm. It feels very heady. And that was a lot of exposition.
Yeah. I mean, for the Ishvalan circle to work, obviously they had to be in the city and take over those points. But
yeah,
like
sure.
Hoenheim said...
That's the thing that we didn't see them do and wasn't like related. Here,
and then Hoenheim is also like, yeah, my circle is remote. It's going to activate no matter what. So he didn't need to be there for it.
That's where I'm like, okay, cool. Like...
Yeah.
I think that I would have much rather have seen this show be about them getting that stuff ready and about the, like, bad guys trying to set up their plan and the good guys interfering and the good guys trying to set up their plan and the bad guys interfering.
Yeah.
As opposed to what we got, which is they all just, like... If we go back to, like, the Briggs stuff, right? Mm-hmm. In Briggs, the whole reason Kimberly's there is to do the death circle. And the whole reason the good guys are there is to go meet Olivia, I guess. The good guys being there in no way slows down or stops the death circle from happening. So they never interface with the bad guys' plan. The bad guys' plan happens separate to the plot that happens there. Mm-hmm. And that happens a lot throughout the show. And in a weird way, when we get to the finale, like, both sides are just prepared to do the finale because they haven't really, like, impacted each other all that much. Mostly because the bad guys have just let the good guys do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. And the good guys aren't willing to kill anybody. So the show just sort of happens in a way that I wish was stronger, honestly. Like, and now that we're at the end, like, I wish the, like, if you're gonna go big, like, this is gonna be the craziest shit ever finale. Yeah. Set that stuff up a little bit better than I think the show did. Because this is too kind of big for me personally, and if you feel differently, I totally understand. Everyone's opinion is valid, right? This is just my subjective opinion of how this felt. Yeah, is that there's two huge, really cool cliffhangers done in the last few episodes of this finale that both are immediately undone by it not really mattering that much. Yeah, in a way that I wish, I don't know, I wish played out differently. Because the personal stuff works, and that's what's frustrating. The Bradley Scar fight is personal and is so good. I know that it fucking rocks.
Yeah, like, who's the one person who's best to be pitted against Bradley? It's Scar, whose people were, like, genocided under his orders, right? Like, it's like it's like a really interesting personal dynamic, and they both have so much at stake for it, especially because of Scar's like vengeance path. Yeah. But I think, like, it's always the interpersonal stuff that is the strongest for sure, because there's so much, like, heart to these characters.
And I think that it makes Father kind of a difficult villain, because I don't know that anyone really cares. Like, yeah, it's tough. This has been so huge, and I just feel like a lot of it has just been, like, the show just telling me stuff. Yeah. And I wish it was more showing me stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, personally.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to.
But a lot of the like character stuff in the episode is really great. So like I feel like I'm being too harsh on it, but the end of the last episode was so huge, for it to just immediately be undone by the beginning of this episode felt like a kind of a wah wah.
Yeah.
You didn't understand that my master plan was completed 10 years ago and that there was no world in which you could have succeeded even if you had killed me earlier today, because my plan was set up so that I didn't have to do anything for it to activate.
Well, I think that if you waited a whole week or whatever it was for the episode, it probably felt differently. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe. It might have. And I think if the other cliffhanger 2 episodes, however many episodes ago, didn't do the exact same thing, I think that I would have not, it wouldn't bug me as much, but it's that like this show wants to have these like, it wants the end of its episodes to be so cool and then immediately undo them in the next episode so that the like, what I think is less interesting stuff can just kind of keep happening.
For sure.
As opposed to just like do something crazy and stick with it for a minute.
Yeah.
What do the characters do because you did something crazy? But like literally, this starts with like blah, 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 blah. Our character's like, huh, that was wild. It's a good thing that we had a plan set in place so that wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. And you're like, okay, well then, but then why did I get excited? I thought you were gonna do something crazy, and everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. Literally, nobody's dead. Like he ate God, and every single person gets their soul back.
Well, except for the people who are already dead.
But they're already dead.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's watch the next episode.
I can create. Shall I produce some humans for you?
He also did create a sun in the last episode, which is the beginning of life. So like technically like he is the perfect circle.
That is interesting.
Like there can't be life without a sun, and he can create a sun, therefore he can create the thing that starts the cycle.
Don't you see? I am still alive.
Oh,
King
fuck.
Xerxes, is that you?
Where's Hughes? Is he here?
Look, bodies. Hoenheim. This is wrong.
Wow. That's fucking dark.
What is this?
I can create everyone you love and then murder them in front of you over and over and over again. That's bleak.
Yep.
General, it's the Central Command Center. Half of it's been blown up.
Oh, fuck.
He appears to be an ordinary man. However,
I mean, he's not that ordinary. He's pretty yoked.
Yellow Squad, come in! Are you still there?
Eastgate, Blue Squad, report in. What's your status?
What was the training day for man consumed God and is killing everybody?
It wasn't fun, I can tell you that.
A lot of sprints.
Take care. And keep them safe, friend.
He would create a very, like, decorated statue to rise up on.
Oh, 100%.
The aesthetics are immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Much like a familiar in a D&D game, that panda is immortal.
Yes.
I'm so glad.
Oh, but the seal's intact. Okay.
May, you're alive.
Do these two end up together?
He got to me at the last second.
Oh, fuck.
Your target is the man with the long blonde hair. Make sure you don't shoot Full Metal by mistake.
Guys, this is not a place for mortar combat. I understand mortars are great sometimes. They're not accurate. Or there's our goddamn.
No!
Okay. Mustang's upset.
Yeah. It's also easier to hit a larger area than a smaller area, and he can't see, so.
Range 50! No, 53!
This clapping transmutation doesn't feel natural.
It's
Fine,
kind
you
of
don't
isn't.
have to.
What you're seeking is not what you truly want.
Now he's pissed.
come in! We need more ammo!
What a beautiful...
This feels like the video game boss where you're just like not fighting it right, so nothing. And like when you played Legend of Zelda, and you're like, I can't figure out. Is Goma invincible? Oh, interesting.
Wonderful. You're just in time, Greed. As it happens, I could use another Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, you fucked up by touching him.
You can't take my stone from me without dropping your own barrier, stupid fool.
Sure? At least his leg is still intact. The animation of all this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like the team who animated this did an incredible job.
Yeah. This
whole episode, the fire dragon thing, like.
He can't keep the power of God he claims to have in check anymore!
That's a visual.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that little house in the corner is pristine still. It's got a nice garden.
There was a radius, you know?
All this bombing and everything, this one house is just like weirdly protected.
It's like when you see a tornado go through, but there's that one house in the middle that just got lucky.
Oh, Ed. He can't move. Whoa.
Please, May. You're the only one. It has to be you.
Is he gonna give up his soul so Al can get his arm back? Is that...
What are you doing?
Oh my god.
Well, are you ready? Now we put our faith in Brother.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Such a good visual. That was beautiful. Oh, he only gets his arm because his leg was the mom. Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yep.
What a visual!
Kick his ass, Ed!
Help him! You guys have guns! What?
I wanted the chance to have friends like these.
That's sweet.
You just punch God.
I thought God leaked out of him.
Yeah. I'm just...
Because that's why God was back in the white space that time when he wasn't earlier. Okay. End of the episode.
Yeah.
That was a banger.
Yeah, they don't give it all away, that's for sure. We got 2 left.
Wow. Way to bring me back in.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I didn't love the previous episode. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure, that's...
I think that sometimes the show loses me in how it gets places, but usually when it gets there, the stuff that it does there is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, I feel like this anime kind of leads into the rule of cool a little bit.
Yes.
And they're like, don't worry about it. And a lot of people love that. That works for so many people. And just because it doesn't work for you, or even sometimes for me, this was a show that I kind of had on while I did other things, and I didn't think too hard about the connecting threads. But, they're definitely not as, strong as they could be. But it's cool, and that's why so many people love it, I think. It's...
100%, yeah.
It plays around with things and, these big concepts and, crazy shit. That fight was... insane, we're just gonna make some rad animation, and it is.
And it is 100%. Yeah. And this episode, I thought, by bringing it back to the personal, did a really good job of being much more interesting to me.
For sure.
And also looking amazing, and you know, all of that stuff that, you know, the roller coaster of this show for me has been kind of all over the place. And ultimately, I think that it is a good show, right? Like, and I think that the people who are going to be like, I love this thing, it's my favorite thing ever, I'm gonna go, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
and people who are like, I don't like it, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Because I'm somewhere in the middle. And sometimes I lean towards I love it, and sometimes I lean the other way. And I think what's so fascinating is like, there are some things that are just like that, where like it's not universal. And I think that no matter where you fall on this show, I totally see where you're coming from.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I don't know where I fall sometimes, right? But yeah, I'm really curious to watch the original now.
I'm really excited to like, you know, we have a lot of mini painting to do. So I'm very excited to like just throw it on, paint some minis, and like casually watch it, and then maybe talk about it afterwards, because they are so incredibly different. And I have a lot of opinions on like which one is better, because I think that they both do different things very well. Like, I'm not like, yeah, Brotherhood is hands down better than the original. Like, I don't believe that, even though a lot of people do.
Well, and what's interesting is that for me, the point where they completely diverge from each other is kind of the point where this show hasn't been the strongest for my taste. And so no, sorry.
What do you mean? The first 10 episodes are this, they diverge after the first 10 episodes.
I thought the stuff from like episode like 16 to 32 was pretty much the same. And then it's like after 32 that it...
No, there are similarities. There's things that are the same, but like there are different characters. The homunculi function,
right?
Yeah, homunculi function differently. The Philosopher's Stones function differently. There are...
Very curious how this is going to work then.
Yeah, so am I. Like, I thank you to the person who sent us those.
Yeah, the DVDs. Thank you. That was very kind of you.
I'm honestly, I'm excited to like watch those over Christmas with you, and just like enjoy it for what it is, and then also like talk about the two of them side by side, because we'll watch them back to back, and I will have watch them in reverse order. So I'm really curious to see what I remember holds up better or what doesn't, and like if I do strongly believe that one is better than the other after that, and because there's so much interesting stuff in this show. Yeah,
one of the things that's I would love to like just talk for 2.5 hours about is the way in which this show has a literal god, and what that god's place in the world is. Because the way the show presents God is that God is there to interact with alchemists who break the rules, and that's kind of it. And I find that so fascinating for a world to have. Like
there's like a god that
you can interact with.
Yeah, and like
so why is there no like iconography to this god?
Yeah, like I don't know. Is it because it's like, well, and so few alchemists actually like experience that interaction, that like, does anybody know except for like maybe 5 people that this god exists? And are any of them interested in starting a religion to like manipulate people? Probably not.
Yeah, it's such an interesting concept, because this is like the only thing I've ever watched. There's plenty of things I've watched that do not have religion in them.
Yep.
This is the only thing I've ever watched that is there's one episode that has a church.
Yes.
That is a lie. Like the church in that is deliberately a lie, and so it comes across totally as a like.
Yes.
But
and other than the Ishvalan god, that's about it.
Right, but the Ishvalan god isn't God, and we know that because we have literally met God in this show.
But I don't know if there is only one god. Like, and yeah.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. So it could be a multi-theist kind of.
Yeah, like there is definitely like a god-like creature who guards this like door to secrets.
Yeah,
you know
that's an interesting idea. There could be other gods, but then what? But this god is just kind of a dick.
He just doesn't do anything.
But yeah, except be like an ass to Al all the time. Like he's so sassy.
I guess he is very much like almost like Lady Justice. Like,
he reminds me of Hades from like he's Al's gay best friend in hell.
Okay.
From Hercules, the animated movie. But yeah, it is interesting. Like
Maybe we'll make a video on it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you do, like, because most of my thoughts are like, it's interesting that he's there, but it's not.
Well, we'll get to the end.
But also, like, alchemy isn't magic, it's tectonic energy. But alchemy is the energy in the ground.
Yeah, like chi. Like it.
But what's the difference between those two things? Because the tectonic energy and the energy in the ground, to me that sounds like two ways of saying the same thing.
I thought chi was like almost like the energy, like the electricity in like your body. So the chi that exists in the ground is like
the energy of the universe.
It's almost like the opposite of like tectonic energy. But I don't know.
Okay, but here's my question. What is tectonic energy if you're not near the coast? Right? Like, there's no tectonic energy in Ohio. And Amestris is landlocked.
Maybe that's
so there shouldn't be tectonic energy?
Maybe that's why Shang uses alchemy, because they can't actually use alchemy.
No, but I'm saying, so if you're going to use tectonic energy, my question about it is, why is there tectonic energy in Amestris?
Why wouldn't there be? That's
because
just where
it's
the
landlocked.
plates...
There's no ocean.
It doesn't have to be an ocean.
Yes.
The plates don't meet just at the ocean.
Yes.
What? No.
I don't think there are any tectonic plates that meet under a continent. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think there are any tectonic meeting points underneath, like, solid Earth.
I don't know. I always thought that tectonic plates, like,
I'm gonna look
were not like dependent on like ocean versus land. I just thought that they were like underneath all of that.
So, like, I guess the only one is kind of the I guess, like, and kind of in Eurasia and in India would be the only ones that kind of meet underground.
But it's not the coast and it's not the coast, because it's also underneath the ocean.
Oh no, underneath the ocean there's a lot of tectonic movement, and I guess, like, in Africa it's possible. Yeah, I was wrong about that.
I never.
I'm glad I looked it up because I was a little bit confused about that.
I've never done a lot of research into like the tectonic plates. Wow, some of them are so small compared to others.
The Arabian one is so small. I wonder if you would get more tectonic energy from a larger tectonic plate then?
I don't think so, honestly. I think that if you had two small ones together, they have less area over to which they would disperse, so maybe...
Oh, maybe. That's interesting.
I don't know.
I found that, like, I found...
Wait, doesn't Japan get bad earthquakes? Are they near, like, a small plate? Now I'm, like, curious.
Yeah, the Philippines plate.
That's
grinding with the Eurasian plate.
That's pretty small.
And they get tsunamis from when the Pacific plate grinds with the Philippines plate and pushes water that way.
So maybe that is the case.
Maybe it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, that when they said that it was tectonic energy, and then they were like, but then the other energy is the energy from the ground. That sentence to me, I was like, how are those separate?
Maybe it translates differently.
That could be a big part of it too.
Yeah.
I really like the second episode. I don't know how I feel about the show as a whole. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I feel like this is a show that, like, wants to play with such big ideas that, like, And I think that part of the problem is that there are still answers to come that will enforce backwards ideas. Like, if I wasn't reacting to this episode by episode, I don't know if I would have the same experience of it.
No, and I don't think you would. Like I said, I watched it, like, casually while I was doing other things and had a good old time with it because when we sit down like this, we're giving it all of our attention, and we're trying to dig deeper than we're trying to dig deeper than surface level.
Yeah.
And sometimes that works, and sometimes that doesn't. And
sometimes you do get things epically wrong.
We're just humans. We went to school for fucking musical theater, not tectonic plates. Like,
for me, I think that, like, for a vibes show, because there are some shows that I thrive on vibes. I think the vibes of One Piece are immaculate. Granted, I also think the writing of One Piece is the best, some of the best writing of any story ever. So, like, I'm not comparing this to that. But for me, a big way to lose me as a viewer that doesn't lose other people in the same way is to cliffhanger poorly. And for me, the cliffhangers in the show are not great.
Okay, see, that's not something that, like, really concerns me personally.
A really big cliffhanger puts wind in my sails, and a bad follow-up to that cliffhanger, or like the Walking Dead Negan moment, I just stopped watching the show.
Yeah, I stopped.
And I love the comic book version of it.
You know, I say that, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I stopped watching when Negan showed up.
But because it was how they handled that cliffhanger for me.
For me, it was kind of just like, oh, there's no hope in this show.
Well, that's, yeah. But for me, it was the cliffhanger.
Sure.
And I think that, like, if you nail a cliffhanger and you come back and for me, the answer to the cliffhanger has to be as exciting as the cliffhanger itself, or else you are, like, literally dropping me off a cliff.
Yeah.
And this show kind of did that 2 times kind of back to back here in a way that has, like, this episode rescued me and brought me back up hype energy for the show. But those 2 cliffhangers kind of being like a brr for me personally, and people are going to disagree and be like, no, it really worked for me, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Doing that twice in a row for me, I feel like I'm in the middle of the comm belt. You know what I mean? You don't. But there's no wind in my sails.
Fair.
And I find that unfortunate because it's one of those things where, like, it is totally subjective.
Yeah.
It is like, everyone's going to experience that differently. So, like, it's not like, I think that you're wrong or you think that I'm wrong. Nobody's wrong. It's just it's a feeling thing. And this show wants to be a vibe show. It's a feelings show. And if you're going to be a feelings show, if you lose me on feelings, then you lose me on everything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think Al's coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he should. But I think that they're going to come up with a way to do it. Does that make sense? The way this show...
Well, I mean, they literally set up a way to do it. God was like, I wonder...
Yeah, but he has to use a Philosopher's Stone, which is the thing he doesn't want to do. And I actually would like the ending where...
Not necessarily, because he can access the gateway through... The Father's got the eye gateway inside of him.
But you can't bring somebody back from dead at all. So if he rescues Al, it means that Al isn't dead and that gateway is a different thing.
Right. He's kind of in he's in limbo almost, because it's like this in-between space where his body has been.
But he has no connection to the real world anymore. Like, I was okay with him being in limbo because the seal was his connection, but he's dead now. He's not connected at all.
Well, I mean,
and so they're going to have to come up with a...
going to be in limbo for very long, you know what I mean?
But my point is that, like, how long isn't very long? Because he's still fighting Dad. Like, the father fight is going to go on for at least 5 minutes, right? Or not, maybe not. But for me, like, they're gonna have to do another exposition why this happens instead of leaning on foreshadowing from earlier on.
All right, well, we'll find out.
And that to me has been a weakness of the second half of the show.
Okay.
Is like, Kimberly was actually absorbed when he died, and now he's gonna interact with Pride in this moment.
He was absorbed. I mean, that's...
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought he
Same
just
way,
died.
like, gluttony is like...
He was, like, eaten.
Yeah.
We've never seen someone get eaten. It's just like the end of the show.
Ling.
No, Ling was used to create a vessel for a Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, but they still like assimilated, like because Pride doesn't.
That's
eat
fair.
Food,
yeah. Okay. You know what?
So...
I'll backtrack on that. That's fair. You're right on that. I just this has been a very exposition heavy ending.
Yeah.
In a way that this episode was fun because I didn't feel like the show just had to like tell me what was going on. It just showed me, and I enjoyed that more.
Fair.
Than like 16 years ago, I enacted a plan to stop this very moment.
Well, but that's like our preferred method of storytelling because it's what lost us in Attack on Titan, right?
All of this is subjective.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the people who love this are wrong.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain why I feel the way that I feel.
Yeah.
Not trying to like invalidate anyone else's point of view because I don't think that anyone's wrong. Like I said, if you love this show, I get it. Mm-hmm. If you hate it, I get it. This show is a lot of things, and it tries to be a lot of things, and it is very successful at some for me, and it is very not successful for me at some things.
Yeah.
And the people who love it, I totally understand. Like, I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's opinion on it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say, like, how I feel while watching the show is impacted by the way it plays out.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's it. And if someone is like, I'm wrong because of that, okay. I don't know how to tell you that, but I hope other people love it. You know, like I'm not trying to like stir the pot. It's not a storytelling device that I find very fun when I'm just sitting here listening to how the characters already won.
Yeah.
And it's not even like our characters. It's a character that was like not really in the show until episode 27 because he was already winning the final fight off screen. Mm-hmm. It's not for me. Could be for other people, and that's fine, right? Like that's subjective. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry, and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is
May.
I was gonna say Hawkeye. But
okay.
May's good too.
You know what? They can share.
May letting her future boyfriend die.
Cold.
Oh man, she needs therapy. Yeah. We all need therapy. If you want to follow us on the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.